Did you notice that Justin Herbert has been the most important player in the NFL this season? So, what does that mean, and how's he doing it? Most valuable player can sometimes be a difficult term to define, but in the case of the NFL's MVP award, a certain set of parameters has emerged over the years. These days, that player is usually a quarterback, and rightfully so. If value is at the center of the discussion, they are undeniably the most valuable players in the league. There's a reason that Dak Prescott makes $20 million more per year than Myles Garrett. There's also been a pattern of winners coming from some of the league's best teams and offenses, and it's understandable. By most advanced metrics, the quarterbacks of top offenses tend to be the ones who produce the most value over the course of the year. Over the past 10 seasons, the MVP has universally come from offenses that rank in the top 8 in EPA per play, with the quarterback often doing much of the heavy lifting to get the unit to that place. But there's a difference between value through an MVP lens and which player has been the most load-bearing, critical piece of his team in a given year. Enter Justin Herbert. By nearly every measure, the Chargers' offense overall ranks outside the top 15, with Herbert's own counting stats falling in a range that's impressive but not eye-popping. But it's not hard to argue that Herbert has been forced to carry a heavier burden for his offense than any player in the league. Herbert's Herculean effort this season starts with the Chargers' banged-up offensive line and crumbling pass protection. The Chargers' O-line injuries began before the year, when star left tackle Rashawn Slater suffered a torn patellar tendon in training camp, and they haven't really slowed down since. Herbert has played behind an incredible 25 different offensive line combinations this year, and that revolving door of players, combined with downgraded talent, have made surviving in the pocket a weekly test of the human spirit. Herbert has been pressured on a league-high 43.3% of his dropbacks this season, with a quick pressure rate that ranks second in the league. Herbert was pressured on more than 50% of his dropbacks in 4 games this season, and has faced double-digit quick pressures in just as many. Per The Athletic's Daniel Popper, Herbert was hit 129 times this season, one of the highest numbers on record. He broke his left hand in November, had surgery, and played a week later. For most quarterbacks, the Chargers' pass protection environment would be completely untenable, but somehow, Herbert has managed to not only weather it, but play well. He ranks 15th in passing success rate and 8th in the number of his dropbacks that have created positive EPA, a borderline miracle considering the circumstances. And he's done it showing off all the facets of Herbert's game that make him such a staggering talent. At 6'6" and about 240 pounds, Herbert is one of the biggest quarterbacks in the league, but he's still a sudden and explosive athlete within the pocket. His ability to shrug off defenders and slip into voids of space to find throwing lanes has been critical for the Chargers to find chunk gains in the passing game all year. Look how quickly he resets and gets back on platform here to deliver a missile down the field. There are very few quarterbacks, now and maybe ever, with this collection of physical tools, and Herbert has needed every single one of them this year while under siege. Along with Herbert's ability to create as a thrower all season, his work as a scrambler has been crucial for the Chargers' offense. Herbert started scrambling more in his first season under Jim Harbaugh, but has taken it to a different level this year. This season, only 3 quarterbacks have created more value via scrambles than Herbert, who's leaning on his legs more than ever. Against the Eagles in Week 14, Herbert picked up 3 different first downs with his legs, on a day where he was pressured on 68.3% of his dropbacks, the 6th highest figure in a single game in the next-gen stats era. No single outing has been more illustrative of what Herbert's season has been like than the Chargers' win over Philadelphia. Running for his life all night, Herbert finished as the Chargers' leading rusher and managed to make just enough plays for them to squeak by with the win. This throw to Trey Harris on the 3rd and 2 in the second quarter is the sort of play Herbert has been forced to make all season, extending a field goal drive in a game where every point mattered. When Herbert has been kept clean this season, he's once again looked like one of the best pure passers in football. His downfield accuracy on a handful of throws down the stretch, after an entire season of taking an absolute beating in the pocket, has been sensational. Look at this throw from the Chargers' Week 9 win over the Titans. A beautifully layered corner route inches over the outstretched hands of a sinking flat defender for a 19-yard touchdown, with the Chargers trailing in the second quarter. For many quarterbacks, that would be the best throw they make all season. For Herbert, it's maybe one of a half dozen crazy missile shots to choose from this year. 20 years from now, when people look back at Herbert's numbers this season, it'll look like an average, even forgettable year compared to some of his most productive ones. It hasn't been his best season by most measures, but it's not hard to argue that it's been his most impressive. Herbert has carried the Chargers to the playoffs, and he's the reason they have a chance now that they're here. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, check out our most recent video on Trevor Lawrence's rise this season, and let us know in the comments what you'd like to hear about in the playoffs.